Hey everybody, how's everyone doing on this lovely Saturday? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about marriage and divorce and astrology. I'm looking at your comments here on my phone on the side. So for those of you who are just joining, I'm doing live readings as well. But let's talk about marriage and astrology, marriage and divorce and astrology. Okay. Hi Shivane. How are you? Let's talk about marriage and divorce and astrology, you guys, and which certain placements or aspects can be associated with divorce or marriage. All right. Who in here is looking to get married in the future? Let's see what's going on with your charts. Hi, Queenie. Hi, Bree. Hi, Christine. How are you? I'm good, Shivi. How do you say your name, Shivane? Am I saying it right, or Shivane? Is it Shivane or Shivane? Because it seems like Shivane, actually. Hi, Dina. How's everyone doing tonight? Hi, Crazy Cat Lady. Hi, Siobhan. Okay, so what do you mean? You want to get married, Crazy Cat Lady, or do you want to, pretty much stay single? Because some people, marriage isn't for everyone, right? Hi, Michelle, or Michelle. How is everyone? So who in here is interested in getting married or hopes to get married one day? Or who here is married or has been divorced? Oh, you're married. You want to get married. Okay, Crazy Cat Lady. Yes. Yes. Yes, we missed you, Siobhan, last night. We spilled some tea. Shivane says she wants to get married, or he or she wants to get married. Been there, done that with Marriage Queenie. Ooh, okay. Well, let's talk about, divorce placements and marriage placements. Marriage is all about, typically the sun, the Venus, the first house, because the first house is our general outlook on life. So maybe if we have rising sign in Aquarius, marriage is kind of restricting, or maybe even rising sign in Sag, or rising sign in Scorpio or Saturn. This is kind of restricting energy sometimes when it's associated with marriage, right? Also, the seventh house and Jupiter, our Jupiter placement, because Jupiter is where we want to expand, which also relates to the ninth house. Also the moon, all right, because the moon is how we feel about things. So if you have like sun opposition your moon, or sun square your moon, you could feel differently, or your needs could feel differently than your wants when it comes to marriage and things like that. And when we bring in the rising sign, that's your general outlook. So it's like, astrology is deep. But let's talk about, marriage. So, what do you guys think are some good aspects for marriage? What are some good placements? Let's start with the Venus sign. What are some good placements for Venus, you guys, when you think of marriage? You resonate with that, Dina? Yes. Hey, Amy. Yes, Siobhan. Siobhan, I actually think I saw you on I don't even know how to say her name. Rabina something. I don't know. She was doing readings last night, and I was watching her. She's actually a really good reader. I don't know how to say her name though. Hi, Aisha. Siobhan says Venus in the seventh would be good for marriage. Exactly, because Venus rules the seventh house, right? So the seventh house is actually one-on-one relationships. It's marriage, okay? It's marriage potential, the type of partner, the type of relationship that we want when it comes to marriage, or maybe we don't want to be married. Let's talk about some placements that would maybe denote divorce, or maybe not, marriage is the best option for you, or at least having a certain type of, unconventional marriage. So seventh house, for example, in Aquarius can denote to that energy of either divorce or, needing some type of unconventional marriage, a marriage where, it's not too routine, it's not too restricted, you have your freedom, right? Seventh house in Sag, okay, in my opinion, because, Sag is all about expansion. But if it's a marriage where the Sag is allowed to expand, we could take Sag off the list, right? Seventh house for sure in Scorpio, because Scorpio is all about self-transformation, evolution. Sometimes we evolve past people. We evolve past things that we once knew, things that we once were a part of and committed to, right? Seventh house in Saturn, all right, Saturn energy can sometimes also denote divorce, or maybe a delayed marriage, life, marriage potential, getting married. A lot of times people with Saturn energy get married later in life. Uranus, all right, as well. I don't know if I mentioned Uranus in the beginning, but I think I said that because Aquarius is ruled by both Uranus and Saturn, so I kind of came full circle right there. But these are some placements in the 7th house that can denote to at least a divorce or, a delayed getting married. Also, actually, Neptune as well, because Neptune rules illusions and confusions, okay? It rules soul growth and solitude, so Neptune, it also rules private affairs, all right? So with Neptune, we're not always, revealing certain parts of ourselves can be very, very uncomfortable, and we really, really have to get to a point where we're comfortable with the deeper part of ourselves as a Neptunian in 7th house, that we're allowed to share that kind of vulnerable side with other people. Can you tell I'm a 7th house in Neptune? By the time I got off the other lab, y'all were done. Yeah, Siobhan. Rabina, yeah, that's how you say it. Yeah, Rabina. Yeah, she's really, really dope. And I love her style. Oh, your rising sign is in Aquarius. Okay, so your rising sign is, the 1st house, which rules how people, wow, I just realized that there's way more people in the room than I thought. I'm looking on my phone, it says 12, there's actually 26. So the rising sign is our general outlook on life. It's also, for all intents and purposes, okay, our, how we look, all right? It's also the first impressions that we make and things like that. But, the rising sign is our outlook on life. So we can also apply, the energies that I just talked about in the 7th house to the rising sign and just apply that to your whole outlook. My rising sign, for example, is in Virgo. So Mercury is all about, coming together, connecting, sharing information. So when we have rising sign in Aquarius, you need a partner, who is good at communicating, who's intelligent, who's open-minded, possibly. Now, the sun actually can denote to the type of partner that you'll actually attract, because the sun sign is our creativity, it's romance, it's also children. So, what's everyone's sun sign? Hey, Q. For those of you just joining, I am doing live psychic tarot readings and live astrology birth chart readings, and I totally just realized I did not pull a card for everyone in the room. So I'm doing live readings, okay? I'm doing live astrology birth chart readings and live psychic tarot readings as well. $5 to $10 is 1 question, okay? $20 is 2 questions, $30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. All right, and I'm going to pull a card for everyone in the room. I kind of got ahead of myself. I got too excited talking about, astrology, marriage and divorce and astrology. So, oh, you're a Leo sun, Dina. Yes. So you're most likely going to attract someone who's fiery, who's maybe, is a family man or, wants to have children, but, also is very much, wants to have that part of himself where he's allowed to express his life the way he wants to, Remember, the sun doesn't necessarily have to denote the actual sun sign you'll attract or something like that, but just also sometimes the energy. For example, I have sun sign in Capricorn, so most likely I'll attract someone who's business oriented, who's, very, routine and has some type of Saturn energy in their chart, right? Yeah, your sun is in Capricorn too, Christine, so it's kind of the same for you. Siobhan says, I have sun, moon, and Mercury square Pluto. Lord have mercy. Sun and moon square Pluto. Wow. Plus sun square Saturn. Ooh, sun square Saturn. That's a tough one. You may have very, very high standards when it comes to men. All right. With that sun square Saturn. No marriage here. Life partner cool though. Yeah. That is definitely like either, staying, not married energy or, just really, really, really taking your time before you get married. Oh, you're Leo Virgo cusp. My dilemma. Yeah, that's Saturn square or sun. Wait, is it sun square Saturn or moon square Saturn? Let me go back up. Oh, sun square Saturn. Yeah, I mean the sun is creativity. It's our self-expression. It's our wants and needs, right? It's, you know, the attention that we crave, you know, and the types of people that we crave that attention from. So you crave attention from people who are, you know, very high stature, who are very focused on their careers and, you know, things like that. And that's a very hard man to find in this day and age, honey, unfortunately. Yes, we missed you, Siobhan. Okay, so let's pull a card for everyone in the room now that everyone's here. All right. So thank you for surrounding everyone in this live stream with your watery wall of protection, your fiery wall of protection, your warrior shield of protection. Thank you for protecting our minds, our thoughts, our emotions, our energies, our auras, our bodies. Thank you for protecting the energy of this live stream, the connection of this live stream, the technology of this live stream. Thank you for protecting all of our homes, our spaces, our technologies as well. In the name of Jesus, I pray, amen. What messages do the angels, do the spirit guides have for us tonight? For those in this room. I need a boss. It's too many workers and a bunch of unemployed ones too. Yes, exactly, Siobhan. That's what I'm saying. What does having the moon in the 5th house mean? That means your emotions, your wants and needs are amplified in the 5th house. And they're especially amplified in the beginning stages of a relationship. Like, what's your moon in? Is your moon in an earth sign, Q? Because I feel like it's probably either in an earth sign or fire. All right, so I pulled a card for us all. This is the card I pulled. And it reads, flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. And it reads, let me take a deep breath. All right. If you were to hear a false premise again and again until you yourself begin to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect, proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it is true. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted experiences. What are you guys telling yourself that's true that may not necessarily be true? For one, for me, it's I'm never going to find a man. I'm going to be single forever. That's not true. That's a flawed premise. But if I keep telling myself it over and over again, it's going to, become a flawed premise I believe. And then the next thing you know, I'm manifesting that energy in my life. Not a good thing, right? Do you feel like your energy is amplified like Lamarr said, Q? What do you mean? Oh, your moon is in Sag. Okay, so that means, yeah. Well, with moon in Sag, that means your need to be, to have freedom in your relationships and in your everyday environment is amplified. Like your freedom of expression, since we have the moon in Sag in the 5th house, right? Because the 5th house is our self-expression, it's our creativity. So, and any type of environment, any type of relationship that causes you to feel restricted in any way, you're going to want to break out, break away from. And that can also relate to, marriage and divorce, right? Any type of relationship that, restricts you, you're not going to want to commit to that. You're not going to want to get married into that type of relationship. Because the moon is how we feel, all right? But the 5th house also, is associated with romance. But we also have to talk about aspects. If you have something square, if you have, for example, your sun square your moon, that can, create tension around your wants, which is your sun, and your true needs, which is your moon, right? Or if you have your moon opposition to your Venus, you may often attract relationships in which you're not getting emotionally fulfilled, right? You're not getting your emotional fulfillment because you may be, not, or you may not know how to balance, the energies between your moon and your Venus, And if it's an opposition, it's polar opposite energies, So you could have like a moon in Libra, but a Venus in Aries. You know, you're going to want balance in your relationships, but with your Venus, you're going to attract a lot of, relationships of people who aren't balanced, who are very temperamental, or who, relationships that end as fast as they start, My candle just went out, so child, let me go relight this candle because it's already working my nerves. Mercury retrograde. By the way, we're going to look at astrology here in a second, all right? Because I'm wondering if maybe certain placements that we have going on could relate to marriage and divorce as well, all right? Because, marriage and divorce can also be in the air, right? What are y'all saying? What code was cracked? Oh, y'all were talking about Nick. Oh, yes, Nick was revealed. Siobhan. He's a cutie. But everyone has their y'all. Lamar's candle caught fire yesterday. I know, Q. Look at Q spilling all my tea. Lord. Hold on, I'll be right back. Dang, where did I put this? I guess I could just put this in my room. BRB. Give me like 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. But yes. Oh, you like this candle? Yes, I got it from Taurus Market. Yeah, Siobhan, you missed the big reveal. He actually sent me pictures. He's a cutie. But I'll let you be the judge, Sun square moon, Venus conjunct Jupiter. Is this good? Well, Sun square moon, it depends on what your sun and your moon are in. What are your sun and moon in? Venus conjunct Jupiter, that can be a good thing, but you're going to want, you're going to want your relationship to expand. You're not going to want your relationships to stay stagnant. So it also depends on what your Venus is in and your Jupiter. The nodes help with marriage predictions too. You're right, Siobhan. You're absolutely right. And because the North Node, for example, relates to our current life purpose in this lifetime. So you can definitely, for example, have a North Node in Cancer, which means your purpose is to create a family, in some way. Or a North Node in Leo, which your purpose may be to have children, or, something like that. North Node in Libra can be, your purpose is to, focus on relationships. So, for sure. But at the same time, it can also predict divorce too, right? Like I have North Node in Capricorn, so that's Saturn. I'm gonna, need my partner to understand that, my purpose is to build, to be a boss in this lifetime, honey. Do I do astrology charts? I do astrology charts. You can visit my website. Let me put the website link to my website. That's a link to my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I'm just going to actually pull it up for you guys right now. Why am I doing this? I'm not pulling cards. Hey, y'all. All right, so yeah, let's just take a quick look at my website. Actually, hold on. I just realized that I have to share the screen. Wait, where's my website? Oh. All right, cool. Hold on. Sharing the screen with you guys now. And then I think we're just going to actually look at astrology. Let's just do that. Oops. So this is my website, Lamarr Townsend tarot.com, as you can see, built by me. Okay. And as you scroll down, you get the About section. You have the Store section right away where you can purchase all my readings. I do psychic tarot readings, personal psychic tarot readings. I also do birth chart readings, as you can see. All right, so these are my birth chart readings that I offer personal ones, full birth chart readings, birth chart readings for children, also birth chart readings for your business, and I also offer compatibility readings as well. I mean, these are the products I offer, you know, my good luck jars and my candles. And then I have my contact, my specials and discounts. I currently have a special going on, 2020, 20 minutes of a psychic tarot reading, 20 minutes of an astrology birth chart overview reading. So go ahead and get your 2020 special. And then, of course, these are all my reviews. Thank you guys so much. There's a lot of reviews on here. So if you want to read them all, just visit my website, lamarrtownsendtarot.com. I'm always updating them with more. Of course, this is my FAQ section where all your questions are answered, personal ethics, okay, and my blog. And that's that, all right? Now, let's get into the astrology for today. Really quickly, let's see what, what is in the air in terms of marriage and divorce, all right? So, we currently have the North Node in Cancer, actually. So a lot of people may be, focusing on building families right now. There may be a lot of energy around marriage at this time. Cancer rules the mother. So, there may be a lot of focus on, mothers and, women becoming mothers, building a family once again. But, it's also something about, having the support of, someone beside you, whether it be a husband, a boyfriend, something like that, just something to work on, a foundation, right? This is North Node in Cancer energy in the first house. So this is also our outlook, our outlooks is on family and relationships, right? We have Venus in Libra direct, so this is amazing, in the fourth house. So once again, family energy, all right? But family in this case, built from romance, built from a romantic aspect, built from two people actually coming together who are in love, with Venus direct in Libra. Because remember, Libra actually rules the seventh house, which is, Venus, right? Although we're in the fourth house of home and family right now, the fourth house is ruled by the moon. But nonetheless, this would still be a good placement because, we're in the energy of love. Now we have all this energy here in the fifth house. So we have Mercury and Sag in retrograde right now. Vertex in Sagittarius. So for those of you, what do you guys know about Vertex? Does anyone know about the Vertex in astrology? I want to do big one time with that one person. Yes, for those of you who are just now joining, I am doing live astrology birth chart readings, as well as live psychic tarot readings. So if you want a reading, you can donate $5 to $10. Anything between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. No money here at the moment, but thank you. Next time. Well, maybe someone will be nice enough to donate. Sometimes, people are really nice, Scorp, and, people donate. Siobhan says, I just need one man who is CDC approved. That ain't too much to ask. Siobhan, child. Yes, Siobhan. Yes, I agree. That's very, very important. And, did you know STDs can actually be like not almost predicted in a birth chart, or it can be, forewarned or foreseen in a birth chart. For example, seventh house in Scorpio, or even like Mars in Scorpio or Mars in Pisces, something like that, because Pisces deals with boundaries, and also certain fire signs, as well, because fire can be very spontaneous. What is the CDC? The Center for Disease Control, I think. Basically, STDs, STIs, things like that. So let's continue on. No one knew what the vertex was. Okay, so the vertex is actually, faded events in our life, faded, relationships, faded partners, in this case, we have vertex in Sagittarius. So we have a lot of energy in Sagittarius. A lot of Scorpio energy can predict STDs exactly, or Pluto exactly. Yes, exactly. So for those who have Pluto and Scorpio, that's important to know because that's a generation of people, which that's a whole different subject, honey. But we have Vertex and Sagittarius, right? So Vertex is, faded events, faded, relationships, faded people that we meet, faded, circumstances. In Sagittarius, this is Jupiter. So, this can be revolved around long distance travel. This can be, evolve or revolve around education, higher education specifically. A lot of people could be kind of falling into, if you're in college, for example, or someone in college, a lot of people could be falling into their kind of faded path at this time, or just in general, a lot of people could be falling into their faded path. A lot of people could becoming more open-minded, because remember, Jupiter rules open-mindedness. It rules, the ability to be more, tolerant of other people and different cultures and different belief systems. It's also our own belief systems and our own personal philosophies. So in the fifth house, this is self-expression. This is romance. This is creativity. All right. Jupiter in Sagittarius. Remember, Jupiter can also denote to either marriage or divorce. Jupiter in Sag wants to, focus on expansion. In the fifth house, expansion of self expression. Okay, self-expression without restriction. So in this case, any marriages that are currently, for example, dealing with issues of, either one or both partners feeling restricted, or any marriages that are currently being entered into at this time, in which there is kind of a forewarning or some type of semblance of this energy kind of eventually manifesting in their own relationship, where, either one or both partners want freedom or require freedom in relationships. This is going to either be a good thing or a bad thing. On the flip hand side, relationship partners or synastry in birth charts that have this energy, there are thriving at this time. So there could be actually a lot of relationships that are built on, free spiritedness and, you do you, I do me, but we still love each other. Relationships built out of that energy right now, could thrive, until the next aspects come, that, kind of shake things up a bit. Now we have Sun and Scorpio here in the fifth house. With the Sun and Scorpio, this can be, attracting people. Now remember, because the Sun is the people that we attract, can be attracting people who, maybe have some type of darkness or edge about them, or, some people that have secrets, and with Scorpio Sun in the fifth house, self-expression can be a bit subdued. It can be a bit kind of calculated in some way, or, subdued. You have a lot of water in your chart. I'm reading the comments, you guys. My Pluto's in Sagittarius. What does that indicate? Oh, really? Can you find that on a chart? Can you find what on a chart? Let me tell you guys, you can find anything in a chart. You can find when your sibling will get married, based on your chart. You can find out when your child will get married based on your chart. You can find out what your unborn child could potentially be like based on your chart. Whether this child is actually born, or adopted. But anyways, moving on. We have Pluto currently in Capricorn in the sixth house. So this is the generation of, work ethic, hard work, routine. All right. Time consideration, or, time, maybe not consideration. Also definitely the time of delayed marriage. Okay. Marriages that are delayed. This generation Pluto and Capricorn, people that are being born in this generation, probably will get married at a later age, a later date. All right. When we have Pluto and Capricorn in the 6th house, for those that are being born today, specifically in the 6th house, you know, they could either, well, Pluto doesn't necessarily relate to love, but you know, you could still find love through work, because the 6th house relates to work. The 6th house also relates to self-improvement. The 6th house mainly relates to our job, though. You know, our work, you know, our daily kind of work, you know, whereas this 10th house is career. But with Pluto and Capricorn in the 6th house, you know, this is, you know, a generation of people that are always going to want to, you know, be working on self-improvement, always going to want to be bettering themselves and one-upping themselves, and, you know, kind of, you know, status is very important for these people. So once again, very, very delayed marriage. These Pluto and Cappies will marry for power or money. Exactly. Yes, the disease part is about Pluto. Exactly. You know, Pluto can relate to STDs. Neptune can also relate to STDs as well. And some other placements. For those of you just joining, by the way, I'm doing live readings. I'm doing live psychic tarot readings. So if you want, or live astrology birth chart reading, you can donate anywhere between $5 to $10, or $20. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. You can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. I do prefer my PayPal at this time. The great thing about PayPal is that you can also send your question anonymously. So, but we have Lilith in Aquarius. So Lilith, okay, in Aquarius is someone who definitely wants freedom in their day-to-day life, definitely wants freedom in their relationships. And if they don't get that freedom in relationships, they can have a very sneaky way, because remember, we have Lilith in Aquarius in the 7th house. So this is our one-on-one relationships, right? They can have a very, very sneaky way about getting that kind of freedom that they crave. So Lilith in Aquarius in the 7th house, I hate to say it, all right, can denote cheating in relationships, okay? No shade, no tea, all right, you know, but, you know, it's because Aquarius is Uranus energy, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, you know, they want their freedom in relationships in the 7th house, all right? So, you know, those born at this time, you know, maybe some little cheaters, all right, in some way, so, but they just need their freedom, you know, they need their freedom, you know, they need their freedom to express themselves and to focus on their work. Mars and Pisces, we were just talking about Mars and Pisces in the 8th house, which is Pluto. So, interestingly enough, this can be a little bit of STD energy, okay, since we were talking about that earlier. But, you know, with Mars and Pisces in the 8th house, this is, you know, Mars does rule, you know, sex, it rules aggression, you know, it rules self-assertiveness, it rules how we express our raw energy. In the 8th house in Mars and Pisces, this can be, how do I say this? This can be someone who maybe marries for a certain reason at a certain stage in their life, and then as they grow and evolve, realizes that maybe that's not what they need. Be careful, Pluto in the 12th. Yes. Because the 12th house is Neptune. So yeah, that's ooh Lord. Yeah. Oh, you had that, Lilith. Oh no. Women are going crazy over who? Yes, Aquarians will cheat and act like it's normal instead of just getting in an open relationship or staying single. Yes. Some Aquarians, yes. I have Mars in Pisces, but I don't know what house it's in. Do you guys know any websites that tell you that? I think Cafe Astrology tells you. So we have Neptune and Pisces as well, all right, which, can, create issues with boundaries. In the ninth house, this is, Jupiter. So this is expansion, okay? This is wanting to expand past any limitations that we may have. This is also higher education, higher learning. We have the moon in Pisces right now. Oof, all right? The moon in Pisces in the ninth house, but we have the sun in Scorpio in the fifth house, all right? So interesting. Let's see if we have any conjunctions with the moon and the sun. Well, we have the sun square here, Mars, all right, actually. So we have the sun in Scorpio, Mars in Pisces in the eighth house. Now, the reason why it's squared is because the Mars in Pisces is in the eighth house of Scorpio, right? And once again, Mars and Pisces and Scorpio energy, not the best combination, all right? Here we have Sun square Moon, which can create issues around asserting boundaries, asserting oneself, okay, when necessary, especially when it comes to someone that they are attracted to, someone that they, want the attention of, or someone that they kind of want to envelop in some way, with this Sun square Moon. But that's just a little taste, of, what this energy, or what, like a birth chart reading would be like. Being sneaky side people and liars can't get away by on their charts. Exactly. I'm telling y'all can tell everything in a birth chart, child. Pluto on the 12th, you can be set up in various ways depending on the totality of the chart. Yes, I'm so thankful I don't have Pluto in the 12th house. I actually don't know where my Pluto's in. I don't think I have anything in the 12th house. Like I mainly have everything in my 6th, 5th, 4th, and I think like 3rd and 2nd house in my 1st. It's like all over here. Ain't nothing touching over here, child. Thank the Lord. Oh, future's disgusting. Oh, no shade. Thank you, Christine, for sending the $20 donation to my super chat. Christine sent $20 to my super chat. So I think Christine actually may have sent a message in the, not the super chat, the PayPal. I'm sorry. Christine sent $20 to my PayPal, so she may have sent a note in the PayPal. Future knows his energy. That makes him dangerous amongst these women. Exactly. I have Aquarius ascendant. That's enough. Ooh, yeah. So your outlook when it comes to, life may be, very kind of solitary in certain ways, wanting your freedom, not wanting to be confined. So let's continue on, and then we'll get into Christine's chart. We have Uranus and Aries, and Uranus can, it rules popularity. It rules, how we work in groups. It, rules also our personal true ambitions in life, our, how we approach our personal aspirations and our goals. All right. It's also how we feel about our true identity in society and the world at large. So with Uranus and Aries, this is someone who is always going to want to feel, in charge, large and in charge. This is someone who's always going to want, once again, their freedom, who's not going to want to feel confined, and who's kind of always going to do what they want, especially when they have the attention of a crowd, in the 10th house, which is, career. This can also denote someone who may have, some cheating tendencies when it comes to career, when it comes to, the career, the job. All right, so there's a lot of cheating energy here, currently. I'm not liking it. Maybe not the best time to form relationships, or, there may just be a lot of secrets, a lot of, things coming out in relationships at this time. So y'all better stay prayed up, honeys. And that is a little bit about, marriage and divorce and astrology and how that could play out. And, we'll talk about it more as time goes on. So let's look into my PayPal and see if Christine left a message. Cheatation, exactly. Cheatations. All right, Christine, you didn't send a note, so ask your questions in the chat and I'll answer you here. And for those of you who are just joining, I am doing live readings. So I'm doing live astrology birth chart readings, as well as live astrology tarot readings. So if you want a reading, you can send $5 to $10 to my super chat or my PayPal for one question. I prefer my PayPal. $20 is 2 questions, so on and so forth. The link to the PayPal is in the description box. It's also in the chat box. So the great thing about PayPal is that you can send a question in private. You don't want people to see it. Hi, Zuri. I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to be smothered. Yes, Christine. So, Christine, what are your questions? I'm in such a good mood. Me too, for some reason. I'm just, not letting anything bother me, actually. For some, I don't know. It's interesting because Mercury's in retrograde in Sag, which is my Mercury sign. So maybe I'm just, I don't know. I think it's because Venus is direct. Money's getting better. My relationships seem to be getting better, so I'm happy. I want my birth chart breakdown around my love life kids. Oh, okay. Is that kind of a 2 question in one? People need to learn from Aquarius and learn how to be friends first. Exactly. All right. So what are your placements, Christine? Hi, Eliana. Hey, Sharita. Hey, Tripartite. How's everyone doing tonight? I like being friends first, but dudes be trying to shut out of order. Yeah, I agree. I like friends first too. Mercury has been nice to me lately, and Sagittarius is my 3rd house. Yeah, I think Venus being direct is counteracting the negative energies. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Mercury's been tugging a little bit on my wig, the past 2 days, but not too much, not too much. Okay, so what time and place were you born, Christine? You can just send the country or the state. You don't have to necessarily send the city if you don't want to, if you don't feel comfortable. But if you do, that's cool. Oh, you were doing Christmas, Siobhan? I was born 2 days after Christmas. So it's always a weird thing being born around or around Christmas. Especially after Christmas, it's really weird. The only stress you're feeling is passing statistics class. That was not one of my favorites in college. I hated statistics. Okay, so let's do Christine's birth chart reading. Wait, hold on. Or birth chart overview. Quick overview. Okay. So we're doing Christine's quick birth chart overview. Christine donated $20 to my PayPal, which means Christine gets 2 questions about her birth chart, which I think she wanted to know about her love life and her kids. So that's kind of 2 questions in one. So for those of you just joining, I am doing live readings. You can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. I prefer my PayPal, and anywhere between $5 to $10 is 1 question. $20 is 2 questions. $30 is 3 questions, so on and so forth. So we're doing Christine's quick birth chart overview reading, and I'm trying to figure out what time she was born. There's a lot of comments. Oh, okay, 9 a.m. Palm Beach. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on, y'all. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Wow, Christine. So, what's your question again? Christine, what's your question again? Or what are your questions again? What do you want to know about? Let me just scroll up. Where are we? Born at 9, birthday. I want my birth chart breakdown around my love life, kids. Okay, so do you have kids already, Christine? Oh, okay, yeah. Do you have kids already, Christine? Or no? And are you single currently? Oh, just one, but you want more. Okay. Okay. Well, we have Sun and Capricorn in the 11th house. The 11th house is, Uranus. So this rules friendships, groups. All right. It also rules our personal goals and aspirations, how we feel about our, true sense of self and society and the world at large. Now, remember, the Sun is also the types of people that we attract. So you can attract very popular people who are business oriented. All right. The types of people who are known, around the city, around the state, something like that. People who are kind of popular. Love is hard, but it's worth it. Yes. Yes. Be careful of marrying or teaming up with people money-wise. Exactly. That's your sun. Now, where's your moon? We have moon over here in Virgo. So that's pretty good. Your sun and your moon aren't, horribly aspected. They're actually trined one another. So, trine is really, really, really good energy. You like to feel safe. You like to feel comfortable in relationships. You like to feel secure. So you also, need a partner who makes you feel secure and safe, with the moon. And we have the moon here in the 7th house. We also have the vertex in Virgo here in the 7th house. So you may definitely attract a partner eventually. Your life partner, your husband could be a provider, a protector. He can also be very much someone who is a bit OCD or like a health freak or a health nut, someone who likes things his way, very particular, but overall very organized as well. Yes, oh my God, so true, Lamarr. Yes, Moon and Virgo picky, very, very, very picky in relationships with Moon and Virgo, and very, very critical as well. You can be very, very critical, but that can be a good thing. That just means you have high standards. All right. And it's interesting because with your moon in 7th house trying your sun in the 11th house, you're very, very cognizant of how people act in groups versus how people act when you're alone. Like you notice the difference if you notice too much of a difference, that can actually turn you off. So let's see where that Venus is at. Where's the Venus? We have Venus in Scorpio. Ooh, Lord. Venus in Scorpio. No shade. I have Venus in Scorpio too. Oh my God, this is so accurate. Yes, you have Venus in Scorpio in the 10th house, which is, the house of career. This is the midheaven, so this is career. This is also the father, okay, and that type of energy. So let's see where your Venus is in, if that has any bad aspects. No bad aspects with the Venus, so that's also good. You actually have Venus conjunct your Pluto, but so that can be a little bit tough. Okay, that can mean attracting relationships because you have both the Venus and Pluto and Scorpio, both in the 10th house. So you can attract relationships. First of all, you may attract love or relationships on the job or through your career with the Venus in the 10th house. But with Venus conjunct Pluto, that can mean relationships that are very transformative, whether they transform you or, you transform the other person. They can be very intense, very passionate, almost at times too intense, too passionate when we have Venus and Pluto in this 10th house. Be careful of mixing business with pleasure with this energy. Chokehold, Venus conjunct Pluto. Exactly, Siobhan. In the 10th house. Venus and Scorpio. Yes. Yes. So be careful with that energy. So I'm not seeing any bad aspects when it comes to, your placements. Now we have 7th house here. It looks like you have 7th house in Leo. 7th house in Leo. All right, so that means you need relationships. You need affection in relationships and attention in relationships. You also need like fun in relationships. You don't like boredom. You're the type of person who likes to go out, and likes to go on dates. Likes to do things with your partner. You also like freedom of self-expression in relationships. Now we have in your 7th house Moon in Virgo and Vertex in Virgo, so you may be very critical of your relationships or your relationship partners. So be careful of that, being a little bit too critical. Now, Leo energy can also relate to children. So you may have tendencies where you can be very critical of your children, okay? So be careful with that. Speaking of children, all right? Now let's get into your 5th house, because the 5th house can also relate to children. So you have your 5th house, it looks like in Gemini. Yes, it looks like your 5th house, yes, is in Gemini. Okay. So ironically, the 5th house or Gemini is definitely can relate to siblings. Okay. So there's definitely, I see at least, one more child, if not more, but definitely one more child that could come through, because Gemini energy, Mercury energy is sibling energy. And when we put it in the 5th house, that's, and not to mention you don't have any energy going on in your 5th house. So that could either be a pretty good thing or it really depends, but in terms of children, it can be actually a really, really good thing, actually. Let's see if you also have Sun trine your vertex. So that can be a good thing when it comes to children. That could mean that your children are actually very intellectual. It could also mean that, or you could also create a child with someone who's very intellectual, or someone who has and once again, this is Mercury energy. So Sun trine your Mercury, there could be possibility for actually twins at some point. All right. Siobhan says, be careful of drug addicts with the Moon in Virgo with Venus and Scorpio. Very, very true, because Virgo can attract people that need to be saved and helped in relationships when we put it in the 7th house, and that Venus and Scorpio and, Pluto and Scorpio in the 10th house, because the 10th house is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn can rule, addictions. It can rule, having a routine, living up to your responsibilities, but it can also be about, addictions, that kind of energy too. So that 5th house is really, really good when it comes to, sibling, having a sibling for your child you currently have, or once again, twins, because Gemini is twins. So, Virgo isn't necessarily twins, but Gemini is definitely twins. Not, just because Virgo is Mercury doesn't necessarily mean, it's twin energy, but it can definitely be children energy. Now, your 1st house is in Aquarius, okay? 1st house in Aquarius, and we talked a little bit about Aquarius rising, okay, and how Aquarius rising can have a little bit of an unconventional outlook on life, okay? And that can also mean, because the rising sign is how people see us, the type of energy that we attract, you may attract unconventional people or unconventional relationships. So with rising sign in Aquarius, there could be an element of marriage where it's delayed, okay? Let's see where your Saturn is placed. Where's Saturn? Also, Moon and Virgo can once again mean that you're somewhat of a critical mom as well, because remember, the Moon is the mother energy. Now, Saturn. So that rules the father energy. Where's your Saturn? Oh, here we go. Saturn in Aquarius in the first house. Interesting. Which, you know, your first house is in Aquarius. So you are very, very much the unconventional mom in certain ways. Like, or you may attract a father, you know, or a husband who's a bit unconventional or has unconventional sort of parenting skills in some way. Like, you know, they are a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more free-spirited or unpredictable, you know, not as, you know, consistent as you are with your moon in Virgo. But yeah, and also with your sun in Capricorn in the 11th house, you may also have children who are very popular as well, but who are also maybe popular through their careers or just maybe popular overall, but they could have Earth Sun energy in their chart. So, ooh, something smells good. But it's not in here. It must be my neighbors. Do you forget about that, Christine? That first house be having me feeling so understood. Yes, because you have it in the first house with your Saturn also in your first house. So you can feel misunderstood in your career too, Christine. Right, Siobhan. Prescription drugs are also, you know, can be addicting for sure. My daughter's a Leo, so I wouldn't be surprised. Leos are very popular. Aquarius rising can buffer that Scorpio intensity. Very, very true. Yes. You're welcome, Christine. And for those of you that are, you know, still here, I am doing live readings. So if you want a live reading, I'm doing live psychic tarot readings as well as live astrology birth chart readings. So anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. So, do you guys understand a little bit more about marriage and divorce astrology? All right. And maybe some reasons why divorce actually happens. You know, sometimes it's not that, you know, they're the bad guy, you're the bad guy. Sometimes it's just that you guys weren't compatible, you know, or sometimes it's just that the relationship reached a point where you guys weren't able to grow or evolve with each other, you know. This was good. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you. Thank you so much. So how's everyone doing tonight? Everyone's a little bit quiet. Must be chill mode tonight. We do have moon in Pisces right now. So everyone's feeling pretty low-key, pretty, you know, solitudinal right now. Everyone kind of wants to keep to themselves. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, it's chill mode. Yeah, Twanda. Siobhan, transits can cause divorce too. The universe always testing. Exactly. Like the transits going on right now. You know, it's a little testy. It's sad, but sometimes necessary. I feel that my marriage is headed that way. It's, well, you know, you said it yourself, Bree, right? Let's you go. I see you next time, Lamarr, and you see you use all next time. Oh, okay. Bye, Scorp. Oh, it's 2:18 in the UK. It's only 9:18 here. That's interesting. I'm on kind of early too, so I guess. I took my daughter to the movies today to see the new Grinch. Ooh, I kind of want to go to the movies, but I don't know if I want to see Halloween or if I want to see A Star Is Born. Because if I see Halloween, I'd be going by myself, and I'm kind of scared. I don't want to have nightmares. I filed for my divorce at the exact time my Saturn returned. Wasn't even into astrology at the time. Yeah, Saturn return. You know, Saturn can also be, you know, about feeling ironically restricted. Because with Saturn, it's, you know, yeah, it rules restrictions, yeah, it rules routine, but you know, there needs to be a little leeway. When Saturn doesn't have leeway, Saturn starts chopping off what it doesn't need, what's no longer working. You know. So things start coming up to the chopping block. Once Saturn has reached its, full capacity, its full limit. I'm just laying in bed excited. My mom comes to visit from California for a week, and I'm so happy. I've been missing my mom too much. Oh, that's good. Siobhan says you shouldn't get married till after your Saturn return. Yeah, I don't plan on getting married till after my Saturn return. Oh, why is my thing not charging? Sorry, y'all, my laptop was dying, but it's charging now. Yeah, I don't plan on getting married till after my Saturn return. I'm not even in a serious relationship yet, but I'm talking to a few people. Okay, just like maybe one or two. I ain't know any better back then. Yes, that's why astrology is so important. I think my Saturn already returned. Yeah, Saturn typically returns around when you're like in your 30s. That's how long it takes, from like I think 28 years to 30 years for Saturn to return full circle into your chart. So yes. All right. Well, since everyone is so quiet, I think I might go get some food and maybe come back later with another topic. And maybe she could get my Wild Brothers in line because one Libra having to tame another Libra and an Aquarius is a triple short. Yes, very true. Been single for too long. Yeah. That sounds like 6th house opposition or square energy. But, Jam, I'll be ready by then. Until then, I'll just focus on my business and my daughter. Yes, exactly, Christine. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. And you have so much time, Christine. Like, you're my same age. Akashic reading done. That's where people read your like past records, your past life records, right, Tawanda? I haven't, but I want to. There's a lot of readings I want to get done. There's a lot of readings I want to get done. I just, good readings are expensive. Good readings are a little bit expensive. Venus conjunct Uranus here. I love weirdos that aren't afraid to be different. Yes. And that can also mean that you're attracted to relationships that are unconventional. Like, you may be someone who doesn't ever marry, but you end up, being with someone for a lifetime, Sometimes when you have Venus conjunct Uranus or like Venus conjunct Pluto, you're like attracted to that energy. Whereas if you have Venus opposition or Venus square Uranus or Pluto, like that energy can frustrate you, Yes, Lamarr, they gotta be my friends first. Exactly. Just like guys say, bros before hoes, it works. Hey, work before play. Christine, reward comes after the patience and hard work that needs to take place in any and all areas of life. Exactly. Been besties with all my exes and still friends to this day. Yeah. See, I have Venus in Scorpio and Uranus in Capricorn. So once I'm done, I'm done. And once I'm done, I'm done. Once I'm done with, with you, I'm done with your friends and all that nonsense. I don't have time. Yes. I got mine done and it showed that in a lot of religious and mystic sects. I was even a nun due to heartbreak, and I have a Native American line. I had to break a vow of poverty and chastity. Ooh. Yeah, I'd be done. The cutoff for real. Yeah, I'd be done when I'm done. I'm done to the point that they feel it. Like, okay, he's really done. That hurts. Once I'm done, I'd be done. I don't care to be friends. Wish him the best. So exactly, Christine. See, we're born like around the same time though. So me and Christine are like here with that. I'm not sure I understand that Saturn square aspect though. Saturn square what? 87 baby here. Yes, I'm a 91 baby. Oh, Saturn square Neptune. That means you may attract a partner who seems like a provider, seems like he'd be a good, caretaker, but you get closer, he's really not, he's not capable of maintaining that, that facade, something like that with Saturn square Neptune. It also can mean that you have, fears or struggles around, independence or, not being codependent. Yeah, 79. I need to be focusing my energy on my business anyway. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I don't understand. I'm empathetic and I'm sympathetic to my girls and my guys out there who are like, I just want a man. I want this and that. I'm like, girl or boy, like focus on your business. Focus on your money. Like, dudes will come. That's just how I am. Focus on you. Your Venus is square Neptune. Her husband is Lil Saturn square Neptune, or her husband is ill Saturn square Neptune. Exact. That can also make sense too. Yeah, Saturn square Neptune. Exactly. Well, illness with Saturn. Saturn is health. So square Neptune. It's issues around health. What are his private affairs? What it's deep with Saturn square Neptune when it comes to health, but Saturn does rule health, so that makes sense, And also Neptune rules spirituality, so sometimes a health issue can relate to a spiritual issue as well. So that makes sense. People got to stop being thirsty. Exactly. Thirstiness is not cute, not attractive, and I had to learn that the hard way. Like, listen, when I was younger, I was a little thirsty, but I grew out of that, thank God. Your status of your inner self needs to be in good shape. I'm not expecting perfection out of all of you, but your well-being comes first. Exactly. You got to do different things. People are hyper-focused on having somebody, but I wonder if they make sure they're a complete person first. Exactly. I'd rather take my time and just settle for any old thing. Yes, Christine. Oh, yeah, he gave off a strong provider vibe, but has not pulled through with that. Yeah. That can be Saturn square Neptune as well. Hey, honey. Hey, star goddess. Thank you. Thank you, guys. For those of you who are still here joining, I'm doing live readings still while I'm still here. I'm doing live astrology birth chart readings, live psychic tarot readings. So if you want a live reading, you can donate to my super chat or my PayPal. I prefer my PayPal. Anywhere between $5 to $10 is one question, $20 is two questions, $30 is three questions, so on and so forth. So people settling for likes and views, exactly, which gets you nowhere. As we've seen by now. Or hopefully we've seen. I mean, I'm open to being friends with an ex, but I've never had an ex that I've wanted to be friends with after the relationship yet. And maybe that's partly my fault. I think it's probably partly my fault. Like, I need to kind of rectify my Uranus and my Venus energy, and probably my moon energy too. Like, but, hopefully I'm growing and evolving. Time for my head to meet another wall. Yes, Bree. Likes and views is not the same as traveling and experiencing. Exactly, Zuri. I want someone who has their shit together, so that with that being said, I have to make sure my ducks are in a row too. Exactly. That's how it works, Christine. That's exactly how it works. You attract what you are, what you think, how you feel, all about yourself, about life. Remember, that's the first house. Your outlook on life. Hi, Tripartite Moon. Thank you for the $1 donation. What is your question? That Cappy Virgo combo will make you cut people off. Yeah, I'm Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, or Virgo Rising. So I have a very kind of, straightforward view on life. You're either black or white, you're either this or that with my Virgo Rising. That's why it keeps messing up. I ain't got time for this. We need to just make a decision. Okay, we're good now. Money is cool, but get your mind, body, and soul together. Exactly. That too. I never want my exes to be my friends. Leave your past in the past and focus on the new chapter now and the next to come. That's how I am. Some of us can't disconnect after we found a genuine connection. I swear, if me and my husband ever parted ways, he would be a constant in my life because it's an inexplicable bond that we have. I understand that, actually. Moon square Pluto ain't no bitch child. Why? So what are your moon and your Pluto in? And are you saying you don't have a cuddle buddy? So what are your moon and Pluto in? Tripartite. I had to make the screen brighter. I'm tired of women thinking it's about money. You can be a rich dummy if you want to. Very, very true, Siobhan. Very true. Just because I'm cool with my exes don't mean they get to all be up in my everyday life, though. Yeah. Oh, your moon. Okay, so your moon's in Aquarius and your Pluto's in Capricorn. So your oh, it's in Scorpio. Okay. And you say it tripartite. Okay, thank you. Well, Moon in Aquarius square Pluto in Scorpio. Pluto in Scorpio means that you crave a deep bond, a deep connection. But with your Moon in Aquarius, you don't like it to get too deep. All right, you like it to get deep enough that you still keep some semblance of not attaching that person's emotions upon yourself and not having that person project their emotions onto you, which can be a thing that you tend to attract with Pluto and Scorpio. A lot of projections, all right, because remember, Pluto rules the subconscious, and a lot of people subject from the subconscious, meaning they project and they don't know they're doing it, right? So any semblance of that energy in a relationship, even if you don't know how to explain it, you're gonna run. Or on the flip side, you may have this energy within yourself and you may project onto other people. They're gonna run. So it's all about having balance, right? And finding balance in other people, or balanced people, other balanced people, but also balancing yourself. Because with Moon square Pluto, this can also be a very kind of spontaneous energy, factual as fuck. Maybe that's why the guy I was dating falsely accusing me of shit. Yes, exactly. Do you have mommy issues? That can also relate to mommy issues. Very, very important point, Siobhan. Especially with moon in Aquarius. That's, you know, strong mommy issues of some sort. Or just like an unconventional mom, like a quirky mom in some way. Tawanda, next man I deal with, I'm going to make sure he finds out his time of birth so I can look at his chart and get ours looked at together. Yes. That's how you know it's real, Tawanda. When a man lets you read his chart and lets you compare his chart with yours, that's how you know. That's how you know. Your moon's in the 4th house. Steph got mommy issues. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, astrology gets deep. Astrology gets really, really deep. And my mom's a sensitive Cancer. I have moon square Pluto. I have mom issues. I respect her. I just can't deal. Yeah. And you know, moon square Pluto, that's someone who wants to evolve and transform, you know. And sometimes you have to evolve and transform past the relationship with your mother. You know, sometimes the relationship with your mother may just be holding you back in some way. I think I may have moon square Pluto too, because I have moon in Libra, Pluto in Scorpio. So I'm sure I have that energy as well. Or actually, it may not be square. Maybe, I don't know. I have to look back at my chart. Yes. Yeah. His mother died, so he has to ask someone else. Oh, okay. My mom has brought a lot of drama in my life. I had to cut it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I have 4th house in Scorpio, so you know, going out on my own was the best thing for me. I think I have something like I think I have Aries energy as well in there. What is the most important thing to look at when comparing the 7th house, the Venus, the rising signs, and the moons, and the sun? Bree. I had to set boundaries with my mom. Exactly. You know, the moon does also relate to setting emotional boundaries. And whether or not how we assert those boundaries, whether or not we do. 4th house in Scorpio, black sheep. Very much black sheep, Siobhan. Very much so. My mom with the mind games and guilt trips, and I literally felt guilty about being born. Every time I spent around her, I didn't need her extra BS in my life. Yeah. And you have moon in Capricorn, Dina, right? First house in Aquarius and 7th house in Leo, polar opposites. Yeah, definitely polar opposite energy. What you need in life overall is different from what you need in relationships. In life, you don't need attention very much. Like, you kind of don't need it, but in your relationships, you definitely need attention and affection and that type of energy, which is different from your, like, outside life persona. I need counseling. 4th house Scorpio, you could have been like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, Lamarr. That was exactly my life, was Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. Like, that is my life pat down. And I love that movie growing up. But I was always that kind of latchkey kid left alone, who was trusted to be left alone, you know, always that kid. My mom's not taking on any sort of responsibility for any hurtful actions, but quick to point the finger. Yeah. I feel like I'm the mother and my mother's the daughter a lot of the times, and my mom is a Capricorn too. That's how I feel sometimes with my parents. Well, my dad passed away 8 years ago, but that's how I felt. That's how I feel with my mom too. My mom's a Gemini. So what's everyone doing for the rest of the night? I feel like the energy is going to shift as the night goes on, but we talked a little bit about this in the astrology talk for the week. Saturn in Aries is attracted to positions of power when it comes to career. Saturn in Aries can also we could have had a father who's powerful in some way or has some type of position of power. But he may have also been temperamental in some way as well. My Pluto's in Libra. Moving it away, honey. Yes. Eat chocolate biscuits and cry. Chocolate biscuits sounds so good. Is that just basically cookies? I like chocolate biscuits better though. That kind of, I don't know, I like that name. Chocolate biscuits. Speaking of chocolate biscuits, what times does Chick-fil-A close? Because they have really good cookies. And I'm like really hungry. But I want a salad. I don't think they sell salad. Oh, they close at 9. Ciao, bye. Or 10. I'm sorry. Ciao, bye. I'll go somewhere else. I don't feel like rushing. I'm not that pressed. My mom's a Libra and I'm a Cancer. Her mom was a Cancer too, and one of her older sisters was a Cancer, and that sister was just as mentally as my grandma. Oh. Since I took a nap, I'm wide awake, hoping to get some art planning done. Insomnia has been prominent the last week. Yeah, I took a nap earlier, so I'm pretty much awake as well. But I'm really going to start planning this astrology class. I'm really excited. I want to get that up and running because I love talking about astrology. Like, and I think it would be a really fun class to do. Oh, I'm putting my kiddos to sleep while watching you. Oh, Trisha, that's so nice. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like the video as you guys come in and subscribe. I was about to say Chick-fil-A is probably about to close. Yeah. Yes, Christine. I'm going to get that up and running as soon as possible. With North Node and Aries, you get on and do you. Exactly. Aries is just about getting up and doing what they want to do, so you got to just do you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only but is yours walking out that door, honey. That's how that goes. Release that guilt. That's the South Node in your chart. What's your North Node in, Dina? Because if you have South Node in Cancer, South Node Cancer people feel like very responsible for their family and their loved ones. Glad I'm here for this. Yes, Crystal. Tawanda says you were only, Dina, you were only kid yourself. It was only so much you could do. Exactly, Tawanda. Yeah, it's not your fault, you know? Not your fault. That South Node Cancer will always have you feeling like that, but it's a rabbit hole. Exactly. I have South Node in Cancer, so. Yes, Lamarr, Cap 4th house in Cancer midheaven feel that same responsibility too. Exactly. Having to provide for your family, take care of your family. Family always on your mind. Child, sometimes you just gotta focus on you, honey. All right. Did you also know that in-laws can be, you can have like a bad placement for in-laws, which is a Mercury when it comes to marriage as well. Like you can find everything about astrology. Like I have Mercury in Sagittarius. All right. So I'm probably going to have in-laws of some sort who are foreign, mixed. I may have a partner who has two parents of different races, or, you know, a partner who has like parents with some sort of stature who may be religious or something like that, or may be very free-spirited in-laws. Y'all, that Cancer South Node going to be tested for the next 18 months. Oh my gosh. Don't even talk to me about it. Lord. I'm over it. When I was home alone as a kid, I cranked up my music when no one was home and I sang and shake my booty. Me too. Yeah, this year made me focus on me exactly. And what placements? Well, what do you mean? Well, when it comes to having bad in-laws, you can have Mercury and Saturn that can have in-laws who are very controlling, specifically of their children, all right, or of their relationship. Mercury and Aquarius as well can have unpredictable in-laws, who would, feel one day about you today, feel one day about you tomorrow, or, it takes a while for them to reveal their true feelings towards you. Like, you never know how did they really feel about you. You can have Mercury and Neptune, which, means you could have in-laws who there's some sort of secrecy behind, their private affairs, or, you don't know much about them actually. They're never hardly around, or they're inconsistent. Mercury and Pluto, which is Scorpio. You can have Mercury and Pluto, which is in-laws who are always transforming and evolving, and may have some sort of chaos in the home or something like that. So, or trauma. Sorry. You have Mercury in Cancer, so you can have in-laws who are very nurturing and loving, specifically the mother. Like you may get along really well with the mother of your husband. Mercury and Cap in the 3rd house. Ooh. Well, the 3rd house is in-law, is again, that's Mercury, so. Oh, I love Shakira. Oh, you're on tonight, my hips don't lie. You have Mercury and Sag too. Me too, Christine. So we can have in-laws who are, very cultured, who maybe are of different races, or, foreign. Maybe in-laws who, the mother's this race, the father's this race, or, they're mixed, something like that. It's a very kind of cultured home. You can feel like family. We can feel like family. You know what I'm saying? Because so Mercury and Sag is very open, very generous as well. So they can be very generous. Mercury and Scorpio in the 2nd house. The 2nd house is money and finances. So you may attract in-laws who have issues with money of some sort. Or money could have been a focal point, which means you may attract a partner who therefore could have like certain issues with money. Could be trust issues as well, Pitbull too, if the music has a funky beat, find me burning up the dance floor. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, yes, my ex mother-in-law stayed trying to borrow money from my ex-husband. Exactly. Mercury, Capricorn in the second house. My husband's Mercury is in Gemini. Oh. So your in-laws may be very controlling with money, Bree. Your husband's in-laws may be very, and they may love to talk a lot. She hated making him say no, yeah. And that could have caused issues between you two. Mercury can also, speak up your partner's siblings as well. Like they're kind of family overall. But specifically the in-laws, siblings, aunts, uncles, immediate family more so. Yes, very controlling mother. My mother is the talker. Yes. Damn, astrology don't play. No, it doesn't. Astrology does not play. Astrology gets down to the nitty gritty, you guys. I'm telling you, like, we have so much to talk about. And I'm going to get these astrology classes going, you guys. And we're going to have so much fun learning about astrology. By the time you guys are done with my class, you guys are going to be able to read your own charts. You guys are going to be able to read the transits. Y'all are going to be, telling me what's going on. I won't even have to look. I'll just look to y'all. Your fourth house is in Pisces. Boundaries. My Mercury's in Virgo, in the 11th house. No boundaries with family, exactly. My mother's Leo sun. I can't wait. That's why I can't. Yes, exactly. What's your Mercury in, Siobhan? Tarot classes too, please. Yes, tarot classes as well. I actually just emailed Casey about that as well. Finally. So we're going to get that up and running. What does fortune in Virgo mean? Fortune is basically, the energy that you apply to your life, and, that's where your fortune will come. So, that's, through being structured, routine. Also, Virgo energy, when it's in Virgo season, you may be very lucky. Anything with Virgo going on in the planets, you could be very lucky. So this explains why some people will dump a person if their family is hell, and most people probably don't realize it's astrologically based. Exactly. My sun conjuncts Mercury in the second house in Cap. Oh, so you could attract in-laws who are controlling a bit as well. In the second house, it could be money. But I don't think that'll be a problem because you have sun in the second house as well. So it's not like it'll affect you and your household. You can make your own. So. My father hides from everyone except my mother, my brother, and myself. Everyone else annoys him. He's a Taurus sun. Oh, interesting. Oh my God, I can't wait to take your classes. I know, they're going to be so fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. But yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what apps I'm going to want you guys to get to figure it all out. What are the cheapest ones? What are the free ones out there? I'm also trying to be mindful that not everyone has a MacBook. Like I have Macs. I only work with Macs. I don't work with any type of other laptop. But I understand, other people work with, Windows and all other type of stuff. So my Chiron and most of my asteroids are in Taurus and Pisces, except my Ceres, which is in Aries. Juno, we didn't talk about Juno. Juno can also speak of relationships and specifically how you deal with changes in relationships. So, for example, if you have Juno in Aquarius, you may be someone who likes a lot of changes in relationships. I actually think I have Juno in Aquarius. So you have a Mac computer? Okay, good. So if you have a Mac, that's really good because the actual app that I have was less than $10. It was less than $5 actually. So, but for those of you that don't have a Mac, we're gonna have to figure something out. Juno in Cancer, Juno in Taurus, Juno in Scorpio. Ooh, a lot of Earth and water energy. Juno and Scorpio, when it comes to changes in relationships, well, it depends because Scorpio likes change as well. Scorpio likes to evolve, but yes, my hips don't line up. Juno and Taurus can be possessive, so change can be a little bit difficult for Juno and Taurus because Taurus likes things to stay the same. Same for Juno and Cancer, actually. So, but Juno and Scorpio and Aquarius really like that, that kind of constant change and things never really staying the same. Although, depending on the type of change, Scorpio and Juno can be a little bit hurt. Like if their partner's evolving past them or something like that, like, because Scorpio is all about evolution and transformation. So remember, Scorpio is a water sign, so they're very sensitive. All right, just because they're Pluto doesn't mean they're all powerful. Completely don't give a fuck. They're not all the way like that. If my Mars and Chiron are both in Taurus, can that negatively affect my relationships? No. That just can mean you're a little bit controlling. But we also have to look at your other placements as well. Juno and Capricorn. Yeah. Controlling and a little bit controlling in relationships. Yeah, and what houses? Scorpio is just good at hiding it. Exactly. What houses do you have your Mars and Chiron in? Or your Mars? Is Juno and Pisces like Juno and Cancer? No, not necessarily. Because remember, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So change can feel like a thing that's constantly slipping out of a Juno and Pisces hands. Like change is inevitable and there's nothing they can do about it, Because Pisces can have a little bit of a victim mentality, and I have 7th house in Pisces, so it's something I need to always check in myself. Oh, it's in the 3rd house. That's communication. So, yeah, that can just mean you're a little bit controlling, especially when it comes to possibly family affairs and your partner's family is controlling them. Like, you're very sensitive to that. Your partner being controlled by your family in a negative way. Chiron is the wounded healer. So, yeah, we kind of heal through relationships, but Chiron is mainly about you kind of healing yourself, through your own journey. So, but with Chiron and Juno, or with Chiron and Taurus, Taurus is ruled by Venus, so relationships could be a part of your journey. You may heal through relationships. You might talk over people too. Exactly. That's true, Siobhan. Yes, one of my affirmations is I'm a victim, not a victor. Exactly. Tripartite. Did I say it right? Or tripartite. Tripartite. That's how you say it, tripartite. My Chiron is in Leo. Okay, so you can heal through children. Maybe children kind of heal you or bring you some sort of comfort or solace. I know you did say you have one child. I looked at your we looked at your chart earlier, Christine. So, and you also want more children. So, your childhood may have been rough as well in some way with Chiron in Leo. Yes, you got it. Or you can just call me KJ Lamarr. Tripartite. All right, y'all. I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food. All right. If you guys are up later, I may do another live. It depends. It's Saturday, so I know someone's gonna be up. So I'm gonna get some food though I'm hungry. Oh, it's just a fancy word for triple. Yes, exactly, Siobhan. I'll be up at work, child, if you come back. Okay, yes. Yeah, I may come back with another topic, you guys. I'm gonna go eat. Yeah, I'm gonna go nourish my body. Thank you, Tripartite. I love you guys. Bye, Siobhan. Bye, Zuri. Bye, Christine. Bye, Tripartite, aka KJ. Bye, Angela. Bye, Tawanda. Yes, exactly. I love that you guys read each other, and I just I love our lives. All right, you guys. You'll be up later too, Bree. Okay, good. All right, then I may just come back then. Love you guys. Talk to you guys later. All right, and we'll have another topic. Okay, love and light.